mute.
Oh my.
What are those? Where'd you get them from? How much you pay? Boy, you dumb. What are those? Where'd you get them from? How much you pay? Boy, you dumb. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Retail, resale, prevail. Better go and check your email. Did you get some heat this week or did you take another L? Goody two shoes, sneaker community. We all take L's, man. There is no immunity, but we can talk about it with a guest and reflect and celebrate the dubs that we get. Yes, you can tune in with a friend. Yeah, Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, coming at you every week with some heat and surprises. Almost time, open your eyelids. Don't you want to know what's next? Got some kicks you can show, come flex. We ain't in it for the checks, but we in there some checks. Since you Jay in the booth and some booths breaking necks. Ha, not for real, what are those? Nah, you know if you watch the show. Yeah, yo, it's about to start in like 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, shout out the homie Larry one time.
Hey, here we go. Welcome, everybody.
There he is.
What's up, guys?
Awesome. Well, if it isn't obvious, we wanted to start tonight's episode with all of our dogs. As our special guest this evening is none other than JT Beltran, and he has a dog, and he loves him very much. And we have dogs as well. And we just wanted to showcase them. So this dog isn't going to sit on my lap for very long, so I'm probably just going to let him go and watch him. But that is that. How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Awesome.
Doing good, man. I'm excited for tonight's episode. I think we've been talking about it nonstop. We're super stoked to have you on, man.
I'm happy to be here, guys. And again, thank you for inviting me.
Crazy, dude. My dog is not a lap dog.
Your dog. I mean, maybe for like Andre the Giant or somebody, but like it's not working. So for everybody who is tuning in right now, one, we appreciate you being here. And two, if you could take a second and hit that share button and invite your friends to come and watch this episode. What is this, episode 4?
This is episode 4
in season 3, guys. This is a huge deal. So thank you guys for all being here. Share it if you have a moment. And with that said, I wanted to turn it over to Brian for just a second. He's got a quick announcement concerning Goody Two Shoes moving forward.
So, like Carlos said, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys from YouTube and thank you guys from Facebook right now. We got viewers in both, and we love that. But we are going to announce that next season, season 4, we are doing a full transition of our live show over to YouTube. So no more show on Facebook. So if everybody can go over to our YouTube channel, the link is in our bio and our IG. Go subscribe over there. We will be going live from there starting next season. Yeah. That's it.
Thank you for that announcement. Just a little bit of housekeeping here, you know how we do. We didn't like formally introduce our guests. We have our intro music and stuff like that, but we really wanted to start the episode with the dogs. But Aaron, just for kicks and giggles, can you run that intro real quick?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
There it is. It's official now. You are today's guest.
Awesome.
Again, welcome to JD. We appreciate you being here. We've got a couple of segments that we like to start the show with. And the first one that we are going to do is one of our favorites that gets the sneaker community involved on social media. And that is called Heat This Week.
Okay.
Time, open your eyelids. Don't you want to know what's next? Got some kicks you can show, come flex. We ain't in it for the checks, but we in it.
All right. Well, here we are. I'm going to trust that you guys can all see my screen.
Yes.
We're going to go ahead and start with, we had a lot this week, guys. I think we might need to outsource another employee here for absolutely zero pay, but to keep track of all of these Heat This Week submissions, because you guys killed it this week, all of you. So I'm going to go through these a little quicker, but I appreciate everybody who has participated. So we got Travis first up with his cool gray 4s. We appreciate you, Travis. Ooh.
Those are nice.
Next up.
You know what's crazy, man? I am so upset that these sold out. I mean, it's the Emelian Dor hype behind them, but like when they dropped just regular colorways, I thought they were for sure going to be attainable. Nope, sold out immediately.
Yeah, you guys know how I feel about this shoe. I love this shoe. But if you guys see your picture here, because a lot of you are here that posted your Heat this week, make sure you leave it in the comments. Or if you know anyone you see, leave it in the comments. We want to see you run up those comments.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Next up.
Hey, it's my little sister.
Rihanna in the house with her 9s. Appreciate you.
Oof.
Oh, yeah. Those are nice.
These are very nice.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Salehi Bembori, New Balance 2002R. Amazing. Amazing.
And the TV screen's not looking too bad either.
That's what I'm saying.
Next, we have 410 Beemore with the Mango LeBron 9s. Super clean pair. That dude killed it when he was on our show. Super happy to see him participate in Heat this week. So thanks for posting. These are brand new. It just came out.
Yeah.
3Ms.
Still sitting at most stores if you guys want them.
Hey, really?
They did not sell out.
Wow.
They're nice.
Is this the third version of this shoe that came out?
Second, I believe.
Second?
Yeah.
I know there's a pair like an 01, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Next up, we got Spider Migs.
Hey.
All right. With some Sakai's. Then we got Miss Carter out in Japan. My dog wants more treats. They got some way off peas there.
Carlos, what's the slogan? A family that kicks together?
Sticks together. That's
Let's
right.
go.
All right. We got some Paul Georges and some Kyries in the house. Next up, this is Adrian spoiling his woman on Valentine's Day with some
Sheesh.
Whatever works, man.
Nonchalantly gifting some Travis Scott 6s. I'm probably more interested with what's on the right side of this picture, but
Thank you.
just me. All right, next up we got, man, I haven't seen anybody else with these on feet, so I'm happy that this guy
Shout out to Mo.
yeah, decided to post these for some Heat this week. Appreciate that. That picture is crazy.
Fire.
We got Product of Kicks getting real fancy on us.
The Balencies?
I believe so, yeah. That's way over my head and pay grade.
Yeah.
We got the Real Shoe Monster. You guys will hear from him here in a little bit. With some easy 350s and a dog. Shout out to dogs.
For real.
Aaron Diaz in the house. You guys might recognize him as one of the hosts of the show. With some Black Cement 3s. Shout out to Ashley.
Ashley.
Great pair. Another one of the only people that I've seen with these on feet. So shout out to you for wearing them, posting them, and hashtagging Heat this week. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Spider Mig's back at it again with the Lava AirTech Challenge. These are beautiful.
It's a clean shoe.
These are beautiful. Raven in the house as well with some Jordan 1s.
A little bit of early access.
They look way cleaner on feet than I've seen any picture for sure.
I'm kind of upset because, I mean, I'm not upset. I'm glad the ladies get something for them, but they don't go up to big boy sizes. So
Yeah.
I'm squeezing in that size 12.
We got Monster back at it again. Shout out Monster. Got a job at Finley Volkswagen out in Henderson, Nevada. If you guys remember, that's out right outside of Vegas. But rocking some dunks. We got the pigeons on the left.
Those Biotechs are nice.
Biotechs on the right. Very, very clean pair. I've been eyeing those Biotechs a little more and more as time goes on. I don't know. We'll see. All right, Copper Steel back at it. Jeremy back at it with some New Balances. Rusty Rose, is that what it says? Dusty Rose?
Dusty Rose.
Dusty Rose. My
Jeremy's he's flexing with his New Balance game.
He is.
I'm happy you guys have a lot of people that show love to New Balances. I love New Balance.
Yes,
That's awesome. All right. This was a little man last week who had the braids in the headband, but it looks like the braids have come out, and he is rocking some LeBron 10s. I actually sent those to him, so I'm happy to see him wearing them. It makes me real happy.
Nice.
All right. We got two more, I believe.
That's another good one.
A really good one.
Veneers. Appreciate you, Jay. This is Jay the Kid. For those who don't know, he does our intro music at the top of the show. So thank you for posting and sharing. And last but not least, Travis. It was like a bookend. Travis was at the beginning and at the end. But he wore these to the barbershop today. He wore his All-Star LeBron 7s. So that is that as far as Heat this week goes. You guys killed it this week. Very much appreciated. And for those who aren't familiar, Heat This Week is a way for you to get your shoes featured on the show. So all you need to do is hashtag Heat This Week and then tag us on Instagram at Goody2ShoesLV. And we'll make sure that you get featured. And again, what was that, 20? Did you guys do 20 this week? 21. Holy moly, 21 entries this week. So appreciate you guys. And we'll just to keep on moving with time, we're going to go right into our next segment, and that is new releases with Monster.
Where'd you get them from? Those are dope.
Oh my.
What time is it? It's time to gobble. It's time to eat. It's time for another Monster Week in sneakers. It's your boy, the real shoe monster. With that said, let's get ready to rumble!
Oh man, it comes another week. I'm hoping to catch a W to fire up my feet. Wishing me no sleep, but hey, it's alright. Cause when you see what's on the toe, you be like, oh, nice. This is not a day, man. I hope a cop a pair. Yeezy SB off-white or J's, I don't care. So stay tuned to see what gets featured. Cause it's another Monster Week of sneakers.
Starting things off on Wednesday, February 17th, the Nike Jordan 1 Zoom Comfort Paris Saint-Germain collab. PSG continues their long-time collab efforts with Nike with a little different silhouette. A silhouette that I don't understand why people aren't buying these up. Why? Because there's added tech to a Jordan 1 High silhouette. Hey people, if you haven't realized yet, the Jordan 1 High hasn't been comfortable for a long time. Now some people like to wear them just to stunt, but let's be real. You're blistering. You're blistering all over your corny feet. You're blistering because you wear them for a long period of time and they're not comfortable. Well, PSG took a nod to the Comfort series from Zoom Tech and they added their touches to an awesome silhouette that's actually comfortable to wear. Added foam everywhere. You got the 3M on the swoosh. You got Paris Saint-Germain on it. You got gradient coloring. Gobble. Next. Also releasing on the 17th, we have the Reebok Question Hot Ones edition. Now this is coming in two colorways, the spicy and the icy. Listen, I'm a fan. Sean Evans, I love you. I love the fact that you created a show where you can bring celebrities on, make them eat the spiciest things on earth, and make them cry and puke everywhere. Now the fact that there's a Scoville meter on the tongue of the spicy pair is just so sick to me. The splashing milk that's on the icy pair, the insoles for both that show that beautiful marriage between hot and cold. I love these. I think it's dope. And the fact that it's on a Reebok Question, all you Bach boys and girls out there should be going cray-cray for these things. For me, it's a gobble. Shout out to you, hot ones. Next. Following that up on February 18th, we have 3 dunk releases to look forward to on sneakers. The men's Nike Dunk Low, UNLV, and Cobalt Blue, and the women's Nike Dunk Low, Coast. Now, do I really have to talk about dunks at this point? We all know about dunks. No, it's not an SB, but who cares? Let's be honest. Y'all are gonna go for them. Y'all might take some L's, just like the rest of us. So, let me just look into the future and shed a little tear. That's for all the L's that we're going to take. If you happen to be a men's 10.5, man, go for all of them. But some of us are blessed to have big feet, amongst other things. Gobble. Next, rounding off our list, on the 20th, the Nike SB Dunk Low Camcorder. Sorry to all of those Gen Zers and Gen Xers who don't know what a camcorder is, because you probably won't understand what is happening on this shoe. The fact that this is actually a nod to the skate community and those who film the skaters is pretty sick to me. They've captured some of the most magical events in human history on film. Wow, let's not forget, they're also on a board at the same time. These shoes are actually pretty dope, but if you're in the US, you're not getting a pair unless you're paying a handsome amount of resale, because due to production issues, these were limited only to Europe and Asia releases. So good luck. Are you gonna gobble these, or are you gonna catch an L? You're getting an L. Major L. L. L City. L. Mondo L. Well, there you have it. Another monster weekend sneakers. You're gonna catch some L's, you're gonna catch some W's. Either way, I hope everybody eats. Now don't forget to follow me on IG at The Real Shoe Monster and check out my brand new YouTube channel. Make sure you follow, like, share, and subscribe. And until next week, gobble, gobble. This is your boy Monster, signing out.
Monster Week sneakers.
How do you not love that guy? How do you not
Yeah,
love
that dude's a trip.
the energy that he brings? I mean, he's like not in the show, but he's in the show because he works so hard on that video. So Monster, shout out to you. Appreciate you taking the time to break down those new releases for us. Guys, which ones are you most excited about?
Well, the dunks, of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, they're dunks, but those hot ones, Reeboks look really cool as well. The questions look crazy. Not gonna lie, that red is crazy. I have a good friend she's being seeded a pair, and
That's awesome.
she's gonna kill that fit. And so I can't wait to see what those look like on feet. They pop. So
Yeah. Those are going to be great. Well, again, shout out to Monster for working so hard on that video. We all got things that we're trying to juggle in life, and appreciate his commitment and his talent and his personality and just who he is. So shout out to you. Last segment that we do before we start the conversation with you, JD, is a sneaker spotlight.
Okay.
Real, what are those? Yeah, not for real, watch the show. Yeah, it's coming to you live in like 3, 2, 1.
So that's with me this week, everybody. You're stuck with me. I feel like I talked too much already, but I get to talk a little bit more. So this week I decided to choose a shoe that isn't one that you might think that I would have picked. Most people know me as an SB Dunk guy or a LeBron guy, but I went with something different this week. And no, Aaron and Brian, I'm not going to pull out something that you didn't know I had. I did that once and it was great. I should have thought about that. But this week I decided to pull out my Invisible Woman Air Force Ones. For those who are not familiar with the shoe, it is transparent as the Invisible Woman would be while invisible. So it's a pretty straightforward concept, but I love the shoe. The shoe was a huge deal. Mid 2000s. I think it came out in 05, 06. Yeah. And Mike, who has been on the show twice before, had this shoe when I was in high school, and I loved it. So I love it because you can wear socks inside the shoe that are just wild. Like you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
With
Those
socks.
are horrible.
These are great socks. I know what you're talking about. You can throw whatever you want inside. Again, these are purple. For you, JD, your favorite color, purple. But
It is, yeah.
But you don't like these socks. That's fine. You don't have to like them.
I like the socks. I don't know.
Okay,
I got
Brian.
the problem.
Well, forget Brian. I don't know what he's talking about. But this is my sneaker spotlight for the week. Great shoe. Nike Air Force One, Invisible Woman. If you don't know about it, go look it up. There's a women's pair as well.
That whole pack was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a great pack. Human Torch 95s.
Yeah, I like the Mr. Fantastic Air Max 92.
It's a good one.
Oh, very good. But that is my sneaker spotlight for the week. So those are our beginning segments. JD, thanks for joining us for those. And we had a couple of topics of conversation that we wanted to hit on with you. And don't go anywhere. Everybody who's watching right now, please don't leave, because we have yet another round of our Jeopardy game. And this week it is going to be JD against Brian.
Okay.
So,
JD, I just got to let you know, because I tell all our guests, we coming for your head. We're not playing nice.
Okay.
Get ready.
All right. I'm not going to lie, JD. Brian was super nervous, so he's playing confident right now. But the whole week, he was like, dang, I got to go up against JD. I got to go up against JD. I'm nervous.
Yeah, I mean, real quick.
I'm not
guys,
sure what to expect either, so we'll see.
I don't want to, like, JD's a really cool guy, and you know, we talked a little. I don't want to be a fanboy, but you know, I myself and a few people in the comments have been watching JD's YouTube videos since like 2012. And so it's kind of like a surreal moment. It's kind of weird right now, not gonna lie. So it's gonna be fun though. We're gonna have some fun.
just take it in. Just take it in. All right. So one thing that we wanted to talk to you about, JD, because you clearly have been around sneakers for a very, very long time, we wanted to talk to you about what collecting sneakers has been like through the years. Like, has it changed? How has it changed? Do you think it's been a good change? What are some negatives? Just things along those lines. So we'll just kind of open the conversation up with that and take it from there.
Well, I started, just to get into how I started collecting. I started collecting because I played a lot of baseball when I was in like middle school, high school, and my favorite player was always Ken Griffey Jr. And I know a lot of people like the Ken Griffey Jr. like the one that everybody likes pretty much. My favorite is somewhere up here. As soon as I find it,
Grab it. Get it.
Okay, I'm glad that didn't fall. But the Griffey 8.
Sheesh.
I'm missing two colorways, but I have this one and I have the black one and the gray low, but has him on the sole there. But I saw like he was wearing the cleat version of this, so I was like, I'm not gonna go out and buy the cleats. Let me see let me find the shoes. And sure enough, I found the shoes. The first pair I had in like middle school or whatever completely destroyed them, so I went out and found like new pairs, and now they're all old and cracking and stuff because I think they're from like 03. So not wearable, but I love this shoe anyway. That's one of my favorite shoes of all time.
Real quick, for any Dominicans out there, those were the Abuela specials. These were the tanques that she was sending to DR. You know, you saw many pairs of these getting ready to be shipped off to DR.
But so I started with that, and then whenever I turned 16, I started working at a Finish Line, and so I really got into looking at different shoes that way. And one of my managers collected Air Max 90s and like special edition Air Max 90s. So once I saw that, I was like, well, let me search for stuff that not everybody else is going to have. And then one of the newer managers we got a little while later was really into SBs. So after I met him, you know, a few years later, I spiraled into like everything expensive.
Yeah, you got pretty crazy there for a second, but
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Yo, it's funny because growing up, so like Brian and I are Dominican, and so we were born with a baseball bat in our hands, and my uncle loved the Griffey, and I can never tell what they were because I was always like wearing Jordans, but now I look back and I'm like, man, I should have taken him up on his offer to give me a pair.
Yeah. So I saw you guys had a comment here that said, ask if he has the Griffey GD2s. I do not. I have 3 pairs of that model because that's the one that really got me into shoes, but that's pretty much all the stuff I have as far as Griffey stuff goes.
I just got this crazy visual of Aaron being born with a baseball bat in his hands and the doctor catching him in a baseball glove.
Oh man.
That's where my mind went.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I mean, you were asking as far as like how collecting has changed. I feel like it's a lot more popular now. Like you see everybody pretty much is into it, and a lot of celebrities are into it, and I think that also influences it. And you know, being like I went through that little time period as well where I was like, all these new kids don't know anything about shoes. Now I just don't care. Like, if you want to buy shoes, buy shoes. If it makes you happy, cool. At the end of the day, whatever other people choose to do with their money, it doesn't affect me at all. So why do I really need to like stress over it, you know?
Preach. That's awesome. So, I mean, are there any other negatives that you can think of how sneaker collecting has changed over the years? Do you find things easier to acquire? Do you find it harder?
No. As far as negatives, I feel like it's impossible to get anything. Like, one of the only shoes I wanted last year was the J Balvin Jordan 1. And that's weird for me because I don't like Jordans well, not that I don't like Jordans. I just don't collect Jordans really. But I tried absolutely everything to get that shoe, and it was just not going to happen. I ended up getting a pair eventually. Like, we can talk about that later, but it was just it was a hard process.
For sure.
So, I feel like before you could really like find whatever you wanted, I guess you can say, right? You could just, if you had an idea of a shoe that you wanted in your collection, like it was a lot of times attainable either through trades or either, you know, but now it's just, it almost seems like anything that's worth it to you is
So what I've noticed is like I'll log into the sneakers app just to see what's coming out, and it seems like no matter what it is, it's gonna sell out on sneakers app. But then you go to your local store and they're sitting everywhere. Well, some of the stuff obviously is gonna sell out because it's hype, but a lot of the like the Air Raid, those are still sitting at like every store here, but they sold out real quick on sneakers app.
It just shows how lazy we are. We'd rather buy a pair of shoes sitting at home or laying in bed or live from the drop, wherever you are, really. It just shows how much people would rather just buy from home online.
Yeah.
That and the bots kind of just eat everything up, whether they want it or not. It just takes what it can get. And so if it sells out, it sells out. But real quick, to go back to the topic, you know, it's interesting because now we have more avenues to find sneakers. Like there's so many more apps. There's so many more Instagram pages selling. eBay is popping even more, you know. But it's now that the thing is like the prices have just gotten crazy. So even though we have more ways to access these shoes, it's unattainable because we can't literally, it's not realistic to pay what they're going for.
I mean, if it's not one thing, it's another. Like before, you just couldn't find it. Now you can find it. It's just how much are you willing to spend on it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I guess that's the benefit of, it's like the pros and cons, right? Like, you could pretty much look up any shoe on Go or StockX, and it's probably there, which is awesome, you know. But then it's like, all right, how much am I gonna pay for this? Or, you know, I hate what I hate the most about it is that it's all based on what someone else paid for the shoe. You know, it's no longer like, all right, what's the shoe worth to you? You know, like, do you want it in your collection? Do you not? Because I remember when I used to trade, like if I just didn't want a shoe in my collection, it didn't matter too much what I got back for it, as long as what I got back for it was more than what I wanted, right?
Yeah.
And so it's different mentality in that way.
Yeah, I definitely think it's become a lot more taken over by like money driven as opposed to how much you actually like the shoe.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie though, when you do find those steals, it is the best feeling in the world.
Yes.
It is the best feeling. I have these right here. I showed them last week for my spotlight, the 98 Jewel Swoosh.
Oh man.
Air Force One. I found these for $40. Watch last episode so you can see exactly how I found them, because I'm not going to give you all the details here.
Dude,
But yeah, when you find stuff like that, it's the best feeling in the world. Raul, we love you too.
That's awesome.
That's perfect transition.
Yeah, perfect, for sure. So we wanted to talk a little bit about that, like sneaker hunting. So what are some of your favorite places, JD, to look for sneakers? Because obviously you over the years have acquired some crazy sneakers. So
a lot of stuff. I mean, when I first started collecting and first started looking for a lot of like when I set my mind, I'm one of those people to where it's like, if I set my mind on it, I'm not going to be able to like, all right, well, I'm going to stop and not go after that now. I have to get it. Like, it's already in my head that I'm going to get it, so I have to get it. So, you know, like I've had shoes where I'll look anywhere. Like Instagram, if I like just scroll through Instagram and I see someone that has it, even if they don't want to sell it, I'll keep bugging them until eventually one day they will sell it. There was one guy in Vegas that had two pairs of shoes that I wanted, and he always kept telling me, you know, I'm not going to sell them right now, but if I ever do decide to sell them, I'll let you know. I'm not even joking. For like 3 years, I hit him up every month and a half, and I was like, hey, you ready to sell yet? You ready to sell yet? Until finally one day he just messaged me out of the blue, and he was like, all right, I'm ready to sell now.
Who was it? Do you know who it was?
I do, but I don't even think he's into shoes anymore.
Oh.
He was like an older guy. He's like married with kids now, so he's like not into shoes at all anymore.
So married with kids makes you old. Is that what I'm understanding?
That's I mean that's kind of like I'm still friends with him, and I'll still talk to him every once in a while. He just, you know, like he had kids and was like, I'll get rid of the shoes so I can take care of my family kind of thing. So I was like, all right, you know, fair.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some of the strangest places that I've found.
Oh, there was one pair that I found, and I no longer have a lot of the crazy stuff I have let go throughout the years, but there was one pair I know for sure. Like I found one picture, and the picture was like, the caption was in German. I don't know German, so I like put it into Google Translate, like followed the link down the rabbit hole from wherever I got this from, and I ended up on a German website. It was like this was like 2010. So like the equivalent of like the ISS forums whenever those were still around, but in Germany. So I can't read German. I saw they had Soulbox laser. It was the M&M 180 that had the Soulbox lasered on the side. So I was like, you know what? I don't know where else to look. So I went to Soulbox and I just sent them an email on their contact us thing on their website. I sent them an email and I was like, hey, who has this shoe? I'll buy it. And the owner emailed me back. He was like, it's actually mine. I'll sell it. So I ended up buying it directly from him.
That's wild.
Is it too much to ask for what you paid?
It's not as much as I think I ended up paying like $880 back then.
No way.
Yeah, it was right around that. It might have been, with the conversion and everything, it might have been like a little over 900. And I mean, like once he told me the price, I saved up for like months. So I was like, I can't buy it right now. Just please hold it for me, and I promise I'll buy it though.
Right.
You know what kind of trash is going for $900 right now?
Yeah, I know. That same shoe, the guy I sold it to, he was like, I'm never gonna sell it, I'm never gonna get rid of it or whatever. I was like, all right, cool. So I sold that because I had plans. I wanted to take my mom to Disney World last year for her birthday. That got shut down, so whatever. Yeah, so the guy I sold it to, he was like, I'm never gonna sell it. Now that shoe is for sale from somebody else for like $16,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Golly.
That's crazy. So other than that, what's the craziest find you ever had outside of those? Do you have another crazy find?
As far as crazy find, I mean, not a personal one, but you know, the customizer JW Dank Customs.
Yeah.
So he's one of my best friends. We went to, this was probably like 7 years ago. We went to like a Goodwill, and we're walking around or whatever, and he noticed they have a pair of, like, it looked like a beat up pair of Concord lows. So we looked at them or whatever, and it was I want to say Derek Anderson PE. They were like trashed, but they were $7.
Right. When they're $7, you buy the shoes.
It doesn't matter. And you know, he like works on shoes and restores shoes, so he still has them, and they look like not brand new because they were really beat, but they're definitely wearable now.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the perfect person to find a shoe.
Exactly. They're his size and everything, so he like restored them, put a new sole on them. Like, they look great now.
That's crazy.
What about you, Aaron, Brian? Have you guys ever found anything crazy at like a thrift store or something? I got one, but it wasn't super crazy.
Yeah.
I think the two craziest would probably be on eBay. Some Flint 12s back in the day. I got them for like $45 plus shipping. I think it became $60. The OG pair, and someone just had them as Jordan on eBay.
Oh, yeah.
They're always the best finds when like they're mislabeled and you're just kind of scrolling. I learned that from Brian. And then probably my Untiffany Dunks at Buffalo Exchange here in Vegas. I got them for like $18, and
Wow.
I love the Untiffany's, man. Like, hot take that I always give is I like them better than the regular Tiffany's, and everyone just kind of trashes me. But I like that 3M. You know, they're just.
So I'll join you on that hot take. I used to have the Tiffany's, but it's never been one of my favorites. I think that shoe is so overrated.
Oh
And
man, thank
don't
you.
don't even get me started on the new 3 that they released.
The show's about to end soon.
I think I'm just gonna put this out there, and I'm sorry, but I think the what's his name, Nicky Diamond, he's been living off that one shoe and that one colorway his entire life.
Oh my gosh!
Like-
Hot take.
We need it.
I mean, it's working for him. It's not for me personally.
Guys, just look at this shoe. It's beautiful.
All right.
It's beautiful.
Let me talk about a steal real quick so you can take the picture down. 'Cause that was the biggest hot take. That was worse than when you said the women's Aqua 8s were better than the original Aqua 8s. But we're gonna let that slide real quick. I have a pair here, but I'm not gonna move everything. I found a pair of 1990, technically 95, right? M23. Joe Dan did that whole thing, but Shadow 10s, found them on eBay for $15.
Oh man,
Keep your eyes peeled.
there's a lot of good stuff to be found on eBay. A lot of mislabeled auctions.
A lot of mislabeled stuff.
I think the biggest steal that I came across, like I said, I'm a big LeBron guy. I love LeBrons, and I found some OG LeBron 3s, white, black, and red. They were barely worn. They looked like in really good shape. There was just some yellowing going on, and they were there for $50, but it was half off that day. So I got them for $25, and I couldn't be happier. I still have them, and they're great. So
since you're a big LeBron guy, let me ask you, you saw on sneakers they did recently that LeBron, you get to pick whatever PE releases, right? What was your opinion on that?
The bracket tournament and stuff?
Yeah.
I thought that the shoe that won was a great shoe, but I think there were plenty of other shoes that should have gone further.
I agree.
I think it was just, I mean, it was an open voting for people who maybe are super young and maybe don't remember when these PEs were featured and how crazy they were. And, you know, the live that they did with I think it was Jeremy, right? What was his name? Jeremy?
The designer?
Yeah, his name.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but
I think it's Jeremy. Right.
Miguel, come in the comments and let us know.
Jeremy who?
I think it's Sprit is his last name. It's
That's
I think it's like Sprite, but it's Sprit, I think.
Not correct. Anyhow,
Jason Petrie.
Jason Petrie. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Miguel was going to come clutch. Told you.
Appreciate that. The PEs that he showed on that live on the sneakers app was just insane. So for people to have not voted for some of those shoes just didn't make sense to me. And
I agree. I went through and I voted for all the ones I thought should have won. And I like Ramsey here said, the Animal Print 2, I figured that was going to be one that went crazy.
That was
Nobody voted for that one.
That was my favorite in the whole bracket, and it didn't.
I was between that one and the Purple Zoom Generation.
Can't imagine why.
The LeBron 6 cartoon was up there for me.
That's a great shoe too.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, the Stewie.
It's amazing.
Fire.
I mean, I could talk about LeBrons all day, but we want to talk about another topic with you, JD, that not a lot of people have a lot of experience with or exposure to, or maybe even knowledge about, and that is the Nike Bespoke program. And so can you take a second and explain what that is and then show some of the stuff that you've done with them?
Yeah, so everybody has done the Nike ID, or I guess it's called Nike by You now, where you can kind of do online, customize your own colorways or whatever. So at the Nike Lab, formerly 21 Mercer in New York City, you could, and I believe they had one in London that shut down earlier than the New York City one did. But you could go in, and originally it was just on an Air Force One Low. Later they revamped it to where you could do Air Force One Low, Air Force One High, and an Air Max one. And you could pretty much go crazy. You had like any option available to Nike you could use. And I mean, they had certain restrictions, like you couldn't place certain materials certain places because it'll like they just wouldn't go together, or something would bleed, and they can't knowingly sell you something that they consider defective, like it would bleed into another material kind of thing. But for the most part, you could do whatever you wanted. And if you just look up Nike Bespoke, on Google Images, you can see a lot of cool stuff. I did 4 in the time that it was available, which was I guess it's done now, right, as of like 3 weeks ago. But since my first one I did in 2011, and then the last one I did, I think, was 2016, and I never made it back to New York since then. I had a few more that I wanted to do, but you know, it is what it is.
So I'm curious how, like, because obviously with Nike ID or Nike by you, you're paying a little bit extra for
Yes.
that shoe because you know of the freedom that you have in designing it. What does it cost to do something with Bespoke? Is that
okay? So originally it was $820, and the reason they set that price, it was because the Air Force One released in '82, so they just added a zero to that, and it was $820. Then when they added more options, they like whenever they revamped it and like made Nike Lab, and they did they added the Air Max One and the Air Force One High, they upped it to 1,000. But they changed it from like 250 material options to like 450 material options.
Wow.
And you know, added a whole bunch of other stuff. Like from the I made 2 when it was still $820, and then I made 2 after that from the vamped it in between time. The third time I went, I was like blown away at like how many options. It took me a long time to sit there and pick everything out because there were so many more options.
Right.
And even the first time I went in with one idea, and then they started laying out all the materials on the table and everything. I was like, Jesus Christ, it was like overwhelming. You don't know what every idea I had went out the window, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go wing it and make something cool with the materials I have here.
There you go.
Dude, you should just start showing off your Bespokes. I mean,
okay, to answer a few questions here, it says, I heard mixed things about the program. What was the total price? Like I said, it was at first it was $820, then transitioned to 1,000, and it was 1,000 flat. Like they didn't charge you tax or shipping or anything like that. Which I mean, you're already paying that much. It'd be kind of a shame if they did.
Kind of petty more.
And how long did it usually take to get your pair? I think the most I waited was like a month and a half, and that was for my first one because they were filming Men in Black on the same street. Men in Black 3. They were filming it on the same street that Nike was on, so they actually couldn't ship it out. But for the most part, it took about as long as an ID, maybe a little bit more. I guess now they're going faster, but whenever I was doing it, it took about the same time as an ID to get to you, which I mean really isn't that bad. But this was my first one.
Holy.
And I just picked a bunch of colors and stuff that I thought I liked. I mean, it has purple on the tongue, and I mean, some of my favorite shoes are like the infrared 90 and the laser blue 90. So I put those colors kind of inverted on that, and that's all that's 3M, so it's all reflective. And I have like zebra and just a bunch of stuff in the cause stitching. That was the first one I did. I like that one a lot.
That's beautiful.
The second one I did was, I mean, you guys saw my dog at the beginning, so he has his own.
Yes.
And the tongue, let me see if I is like his collar has the same pattern and colors and everything as his collar. Yeah, these were pretty cool to do too. Like whenever I went in to do these, the guy that was helping me, he was like, "You really want to make a?" He was like, "Can I see a picture of your dog just to see what I'm working with?" And I showed him a picture. He was like, "All right, I get it now."
Say no more, fam.
Yeah, the third one I did. So, this one means a lot to me. My dad passed away of colon cancer in 2015.
Oh man.
So whenever I went to do these, I literally took a flight from San Antonio to New York and then flew back. I was in New York for like all of 6 hours maybe, just so I could go ahead and make these happen. But I modeled it after a lot of the stuff my dad liked, like on the tongue, it has the colon cancer ribbon and soccer.
Nice.
So that was soccer was like the biggest thing I shared with my dad, and has what I call my dad. And then on the back of it, it has Spanish flag. My dad was from Spain. My mom's from Colombia, so I put both of those on there. It just has a lot of meaning I put into that shoe.
That's awesome, man.
And then my Air Max One was the last one I did, and it's all purple. I put my initial. I share my initials with my dad and my brother, so I put my initials on like everything, just because it's not just my initials. But yeah, and I have a cupcake on the back of it because I love sweets. And whenever I went on this trip, like I went to every cupcake shop I could find in New York, and I did these on my birthday. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put a cupcake on there.
Why not?
Yeah, but I love those. I wear those all the time.
That's amazing.
So if the Nike Bespoke program was to come back, are you doing another one?
I would love to, yes. Because originally, what I had planned was I wanted to make one one Air Force One modeled after each member of my family, and I got to do mine, which was this one, and then I did the one for my dad. I didn't get to do one for my brother and my mom, and those were two that I had planned, and eventually I would like to do that if they'd ever came back, but as of now, it's not looking likely.
So if they come back, obviously you'd want to do another one, but is there another silhouette that you wish that they would let you work on?
I mean, my favorite is the Air Max 90.
Okay.
So I would say that, but I understand why they have picked the stuff that they did pick. Because if you look at them, they're like pretty easy to panel out, and you're not going crazy with stuff like that, which, I mean, from their standpoint, watching them work on it on the computer and everything, you know, it can get to be a little bit of a headache if you start going crazy with different panels and whatnot. So I get why they try to keep it simple.
For sure.
Crazy.
For sure. Well, we wanted to give you some time to show off some of your favorite pairs before we play this Jeopardy game. So if you wanted to just blow us away real quick.
Okay. I set out a bunch, and like I said, if I start rambling at any point, please, you know, like reel me in.
Do it, man.
The first one, this was my favorite shoe that released in 2020. Like from when they announced it at the Super Bowl, like I started asking everybody. I was like, please, someone help me get a pair. And eventually, the only person that actually helped me get a pair was my cousin. And my cousins that live in Colombia, he went and stood in line and everything and helped me get a 7.5 that I eventually traded and got around to getting my size. That was my favorite shoe of last year, along with let me stand up. The infrared 90 that came out last year. And I have 5 pairs of infrareds from all different years, and
JD, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that's the Air Max 3.
Air Max 3, I'm sorry. But this is the one from 05. Like I said, I have 5 different from the 5 different years, and I would like to get, you know, the ones from every year, but that's, you know, a separate project down the line.
Yeah. Yo, JD, are you kind of surprised too that the infrareds didn't get as much love as they usually do? Like, I felt like they were sitting for a little bit, as opposed to
still are.
That's a classic shoe, you know. And
yeah.
I felt
like, are they really still sitting by you? The one, like the stores by me, they're gone.
They sat out here.
Yeah.
I mean, they sat here for a little bit, but they're like, you can't get them on. You can't find them anymore. I want to get a second pair because I've worn these quite a lot. And that's the only like wearable one I have. These I'm scared to wear, the 05 one. My 03 one is cracked. My 2010 and 2012 I've completely trashed. So that's one shoe that I get a lot of wear out of, and I'm totally fine having a lot of them. So like I said at the beginning when you guys were showing off the New Balances, I have a lot of New Balance and I love New Balance. So one of my favorites here, and I know Carlos has pointed out that I love purple, so a lot of these do have purple. But the Woodwood 670, this one took me quite a while to find.
I've been to that store.
Really?
I have. I've been to Copenhagen and I've been to that store.
I would like to go, but yeah, it's a store in Copenhagen, and I believe they made 99 pairs.
Crazy.
So definitely, this one took me a while to find. One of my favorite New Balances is the Purple Devil series that Soulbox did. This is the 575, which was the first one they did. Absolutely love it. Purple and black. It's kind of hard to go wrong with the way the shoe looks. I love it.
Amazing.
This is the 24 Pilates 1700. These you don't see a whole lot of because the people that have them usually wear them into the ground. But this is just a really cool looking shoe. It was designed after a Spanish architect, like a lot of the stuff he did. And because Barcelona, it's 24 Pilates is in Barcelona for those of you that don't know. But yeah, these are kind of hard to find too. I believe there's 101 pairs, random number, but that's. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's what it is. Some of the other stuff that I personally really like, I'm very into Star Wars and Marvel and all that stuff. So I have a lot of like, I'll chase after a lot of weird stuff. So I have a lot of the Adidas Star Wars stuff that they did, you know, like 2010, 2011-ish. This is just one of them. I have like 5 or 6 more pairs in the closet, but I wear these specifically to like Comic-Con or whenever they launch a new Star Wars movie.
Those are great.
Yeah, like I said, Marvel. So I got the Vans, the Avengers Vans, whenever they did those. These are Deadpool, Reebok. I don't even know the model, honestly. I just it's a Deadpool shoe. So I found the one store in like Canada that had my size and hunted it down. I saw that you guys had somebody that had shown these before. The Air Slim Shady. As you can see, I have a slight issue with mine.
Yikes.
I actually have two pairs.
Oh,
and they're both.
Oh.
Yeah, but those are both left shoes. That's not a pair. I had multiples of almost everything Eminem had done. Yeah,
Which is
these
crazy.
they're just sitting in my closet all crooked like that now.
Still, my biggest regret is selling the pair I had.
Yeah, I held on to them because I was like, you know what? Whenever one of them cracks, I'll start wearing the other one, and they both cracked at the same time, so I just don't wear them anymore.
Oh my god!
And then this is the one shoe usually everybody wants to see, so I'll go ahead. And as you can see, like most of my stuff, it is completely trashed. I actually played basketball in these in a tournament for colon cancer awareness, like a week before my dad passed. So that's why they're still cracked, and that's why I'm going to kind of leave them that way. It has a lot of sentimental value just for that alone. So I'm okay with that, and they're just going to stay that way for a while until, one day I decide I have to fix them.
That's wild.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that one I went through a lot to get that one as well. But I'm happy to have it. And I always told everybody, like joking with my friends, I was like, if I ever get this shoe, I'm going to wear it until it falls apart. And as you can see, it fell apart.
Dude, that's crazy that you that's dope that you balled in them.
Yeah, I have the picture somewhere on my Instagram. If you guys want to go look for it, it's somewhere on my Instagram. And like I definitely did play basketball in them. If I am absolute garbage at basketball, I am the worst basketball player you've ever seen. But it was for a good cause, so I did it anyway.
You're the dude on the court that has the nicest shoes, but like the brokest jumper.
Oh, I avoided shooting at all costs. Like every time I was like wide open, they'd pass me the ball, and I was like, nope. Yeah, I was not gonna shoot. But if there's anything else you guys want to see or anything, I'm happy to pull out more shoes. If you guys want to move on to something else, definitely happy to do that as well.
Grab like two more, man. Grab like two more.
Let's see what you got.
Aaron,
well, these two kind of go together, so I'll go with that.
Okay.
And sadly, one of these broke on me recently, but so the Cause Air Max 90.
Wow.
So I recently saw what these are going for now. I bought these in like 2011, 2012, and I think for this one I paid $210, and for the black one, I paid like $260. Brand new, both of them. And now I've seen the prices are ridiculous, but the white one recently started not separating, it started actually falling apart on me, which I'm really sad about.
No.
So
Yeah.
Thanks to modern technology here, we're going to pull something up on the screen here in just a moment, but
Okay.
I think I could look at your collection all day long. As I'm watching your videos and stuff that exist on YouTube, you got me wanting to go the route of like New Balances. I think I've had a couple of pairs in the past, nothing too crazy. I think the ones that I remember most distinctly was the Urban Outfitters and New Balance collab from like 2012.
Yeah.
I can't remember. They had a blue pair and a yellow pair. They were like floral design and stuff like that. But man, your New Balances, they make me want to buy New Balances. That's kind of the effect.
They have a lot of cool stuff, and they have a lot of cool stuff in this last year that have been. There you go. They have a lot of cool stuff that's come out in like the last year that New Balance is doing really well on, and I just as a brand, I think they're doing a lot of good stuff. As far as other cool stuff,
They absolutely killed it last year. I mean, I think personally for me, and I know Brian, they were the brand of the year last year. I know SB had a really good year, but for me personally, the way New Balance, the collaborations they pulled out were just ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is another one I really like showing.
Yeah.
the SpongeBob Vape Roadster. This is the only vape I own, and just because I've always liked SpongeBob, so I found a pair in my size.
That's awesome.
Dude, that's amazing. Amazing.
All right, guys.
Whenever I started getting rid of a lot of the like really expensive stuff I had, I was like, you know what? It's just sitting there because I'm too scared to wear it. So I just started going after a bunch of stuff that I was like, I don't care how weird this is. I like it. So that's for that one.
All
Okay.
right.
I think the time has come, fellas.
Okay.
Aaron, do we have an intro for this one?
We do.
All right.
We do. Let's do this.
Real, what are those? Yeah, not for real, watch the show. Yeah, it's coming to you live in like 3, 2, 1.
Okay, guys, here are our categories. Because we went with the dogs at the beginning of the episode, and we know how much JD likes his dog, Brian's got a great relationship with his dogs. He's got a couple dogs, but we went with animal-inspired shoes as the first category. Second, we have New Balance, and third, we have Nike in the 2000s. So
Okay.
how this works, JD, since you are our guest, we'll let you go first. You'll pick one. If you cannot guess it in, what did we say, 12 seconds?
10 seconds.
10 seconds. Jeez, that's how fast it was. I forgot.
I'm gonna hide my comments as well.
In 10 seconds. Yeah, JD, hide the comments so you can't see what people are saying.
How exactly do I do that?
Just click over on the private chat instead of comments.
Got it.
And so we'll give you 10 seconds to answer. If you cannot answer in that time, you don't lose the points, but you give your opponent an opportunity to steal. So,
Okay.
And then you just take turns going back and forth choosing the questions. So, JD, it is on you. Here we go.
All right, we'll start with animal-inspired shoes for 100.
Going conservative. I like it.
Yeah,
All right.
what year did this shoe release? This was 2019.
2019. Carlos,
Whoever, I mean, you asking me, or you want me to tell if that's right or wrong?
you're the one that knows the answers. Is that yes, correct, or no, not correct?
That is correct. That is correct. The year was 2019. Great job.
Thank you.
All right, so JD gets those points. We got 100 on the board. Brian, it's on you.
I'm gonna go Nike in the 2000s for 300.
Oh. All right. In 2003, Nike purchased this company for $309 million.
Is Converse
Who is Converse? Is that your final answer?
correct?
And it is correct. You are correct. Great job, Brian, with 300 on the board.
Oof, JD.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do. Let's keep going. Animal-inspired for 300 this time.
Adidas collaborated with this individual, creating a shoe that features a leopard tail coming off the back of the shoe.
Jeremy Scott.
Jeremy
So
Scott.
easy. Come on.
My brother has a lot of those.
There it is.
This was a really good one too.
The picture's huge. Sorry. All right, Brian, you're up.
Let's go animal-inspired shoes for 200.
200. Atmos has collaborated with Nike on many Air Max silhouettes. Name two of them.
Oh.
You want two silhouettes or okay?
Two Air Max silhouettes.
All right, Air Max 1 and oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Air Max
4.
Air Max 90.
Damn it.
Air Max 90. I believe that is correct. So go ahead and display the answer. I think he's got it right. The 90s aren't on here, but yeah, they definitely have made Air Max 90s with Atmos.
The duck camo or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
All right.
tiger camo too. Dang,
Yeah.
I almost like forgot.
Close one.
Let's do New Balance for 200.
What did New Balance sell before they sold shoes?
Oh, geez. I don't know that one, actually.
You want to take a guess? You got 10 seconds.
Yeah, I would just assume clothes, but that's kind of a generic term. I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
We'll go ahead and pass it over to Brian. Brian, you have 10 seconds.
I don't know. I'm gonna say like orthopedic socks or something.
Socks. Okay, is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Okay. I am not going to count that one, but it was close. Arch support. Very, very close. Okay, good. I'm glad that we came up with a question that both of you didn't know the answer to. I was afraid that you would clear this board and have no unanswered questions. So, Brian, it's on you.
All right, let's go Nike in the 2000s for 400.
Oof.
Name this shoe. I don't know why the picture's not on there. Hold on, don't press anything. Let me get the shoe real quick. One moment. Oh, geez. Why is it not on there?
It's okay.
This is ridiculous. Give me 1 second, guys.
Yeah.
What is there is no shoe?
Hold on.
The Invisible Woman's. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm going to rename the picture so that you can't tell what the name is. I'm going to share my screen here momentarily so that you can see.
All right. The suspense.
For real.
Okay, this shoe.
Ooh, got it.
This is that is, oh my gosh.
6.
Air Max. What's it called?
4.
Oh, it's gonna bug me. Overbreak or something like that. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
That is not correct. JD, it's on you.
Is it the Air Max Groove?
It is the Air Max Groove. I put the picture on the wrong slide. I'm sorry for that delay, guys, but you got the idea. Not a very common shoe, but a very cool one. Very cool shoe. All right, whose turn is it?
JD.
Mine, I believe. Let's go animal inspired for 400.
Oh, geez, he's pulling away. Last year, New Balance released 2 colors in their animal pack. Which model New Balance was used?
The New Balance 1500.
Oh, geez, that is correct.
That's my favorite New Balance model. That's the only reason I know that.
All right.
Insane.
Oof. All right.
Brian.
407. Okay. New Balance for 400. You gotta get back on.
Gotta work your way back. Let's do it. Which NBA player lost his New Balance deal after getting caught with a prostitute?
That's the most random question ever.
It's a 400 level question. It's kind of gotta be hard, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have a guess for that one either.
James Harden.
Wow. That is not correct, but I'll tell you why that was close here in a second. JD, any guesses?
Close to James Harden. I don't have a guess either.
Okay, go ahead and show the answer. Nobody gets the points on this one. James Worthy. James was the last name. And Worthy is the last name, and my wife pointed out last night that's a very ironic last name for this question.
Yeah.
So no points here, which means we got to move on to, was that JD?
Yes. Let's go New Balance for 300.
All right. In what decade was the N logo featured on New Balance shoes?
Oh, man. Just the N? Oh, I want to say 90s, but I have a feeling that's not right, but I'm going to go with that anyway.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, so that is not the correct answer. Brian, it is over to you.
Okay. Let's see. They already had it. I'm just going to say 80s because I know that the 550 was a retro from 89. So
that's a better guess.
I'll say 80s.
Let's see.
So 1970s. All right. Well, looking pretty grim here. I don't know if there are enough points on the board here for Brian to catch up, but let's finish this game. We'll take our L like some champs. We're still, I mean, we're 3-1 at this point, so I can't complain. That's a pretty good record. Whose turn is it?
It's mine.
Yeah.
Nike in the 2000s for 200.
In 2003, this shoe store stopped selling Nike's more expensive ranges, believing the prices were too high.
Golly. Yeah, Jew Man Sports.
That is incorrect.
I'm gonna go with Jimmy Jazz.
Neither of you are incorrect. The answer is Foot Locker.
Wow. Okay.
Foot Locker stopped carrying their expensive ones. Said, nah, these prices are too high. All right.
We'll go
JD,
New Balance.
where was New Balance founded?
England. Do I need an actual city?
Well, you would if that were the correct answer.
It's not. Oh, you know what? Then it's.
Wait, no.
I'm not. I'll let it go. I guessed wrong. I know what it is, but I guessed wrong.
Brian.
Is it Boston, Massachusetts?
Yep.
What is Boston, or where is Boston? Good job.
Yeah.
Sorry, JD.
No, I had that backwards in my head.
You're good. All right. So last one, Nike in the 2000s. I think it's Brian's turn, right?
Yeah.
In the 2000s, Nike introduced this shoe, which used small rubber columns that acted as springs to absorb impact.
What is the Nike Shocks?
Brian, you seem so sad.
Yeah.
I need you to smile, but yes, it is the Nike Shocks.
I'm smiling.
All right, so Brian gets those points. Make sure we put those on there for him. So this is a first, guys. This is a first, and we have to take it like men. This is the first L that we've taken. But I don't know if we had any more of a worthy opponent to lose to.
I'm honored, man.
Mr.
Honored.
G.
I was nervous answering some of those.
I'm just happy that there was a couple that weren't easy, because I was trying to figure out how to make it kind of tricky, but not impossibly tricky. But again, we say this every week, but it's just a fun way for sneaker knowledge to be shared, right? Instead of talking about it or what have you. Playing a game. JD came for your head, says Travis.
JD, fair game. In all reality, man, I learned a lot. That was.
I honestly, I got lucky on the Air Max Groove that you didn't know it, and the only reason I do know it is because there was a pair that I was looking at on eBay for years.
That was the momentum switch, because you guys were neck and neck until that model came up, and I could see JD's face lit up as soon as the question came up, and Brian was sitting there. I
saw the picture. I was like, oh, I actually know that. I was worried it was going to be one of those obscure, could have been a football shoe, could have not been a football shoe.
Yep. But for real, that shoe is actually, Aaron, share my screen one more time, because that shoe is actually why wasn't that shoe talked about more? It's actually a really nice
agree.
shoe.
I mean, it's pretty. If you look at it, it's pretty much an Air Max 1 midsole outsole, and they just put a different upper on it. But that upper is pretty cool.
Yeah, I dig it.
I think they only made 1 or 2 colorways of that too. There wasn't very many.
There weren't many at all. It just kind of flopped. I found that on the list of the most unpopular shoes of the 2000s, and that shoe was at the top of the list.
It's essentially an Air Max 1 when you really break it down, just small tweaks, but whatever works.
Well, Aaron, do you have the scoreboard for us?
I don't because I was just anticipating another win.
We'll just do this.
We'll just hold up our L's
I'll take him. Just hand him. I'll take him. JD, it was amazing, man. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you guys for having me. I had a lot of fun. Yeah, man, it was crazy. Like I said, this was kind of weird because I've been watching your content for so many years now, and
I appreciate it.
It's cool. Get back on YouTube, man. They miss you.
We'll see.
If you guys are not following our guest tonight, JD Beltran, he's got his Instagram handle right under his picture there. So please go and give him a follow. and comment on his recent post or something and say Goody Two Shoes sent you. Just connect with this guy. He's got some really cool things, got some really amazing shoes, and just a great guy all around. So once again, we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you guys for having me again.
We wanted to announce our guest for next week before we finish. Brian, do you want to tell us who that is and why that's important?
Yeah, so our guest next week is Ty. His Instagram is @CuratedVan. If you've watched Complex's recent episode of Sneaker Closets with Yachty, where Yachty gets his 85 Jordan 1s from, is who we have coming on the show next week.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've sold him probably like 20 to 25 pairs of old Dunks and stuff, and we built a relationship. So he's coming on next week. Make sure to be here because he has some crazy.
Oh, I can only imagine.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And JD, we're going to have you back on next season, man, because I can't. I got to get my revenge, dude.
Whenever you guys want, I'll be around.
Let's do it.
That's awesome. You're a gem of a guy, JD. We appreciate you coming on. That is a wrap for episode 4 of season 3. We want to thank everybody who has been here and sat through this because they had nothing better to do. We got a pretty good show, guys. I'm going to keep it real. We got a good show going. And we appreciate you coming. If you guys haven't had a chance to share this video, please do so on your way out. And that is that. We will see you guys next week for episode 5. Thanks a bunch.
Peace.